and there's been no pressure on him essentially for the last 4 years to perform, and he has. But although Fernando is, the wily old fox that he always was, I I do have some questions as to if you've put him in a position where he is actually pressured to perform in the way that the Red Bull team surely would. If whether or not he can keep his cool, I really um struggle to understand where he would be mentally with that. But it's certainly an interesting proposition, and I would give a lot to see Fernando versus Max Verstappen at the front of the field. Maybe that's a fantasy, maybe not. Free agency season is right upon us in Formula
Hmm.
One as of the start of next year. So who knows? But I would be pretty surprised. Unfortunately, Amesh, we have been eddied down the road of Red Bull, and we now have to discuss their dominant victory once again. Um, were you ever in any doubt?
No, I was never in any doubt. I think a lot of F1 fans have gotten to a point where they just expect Red Bull and Max Verstappen to be winning. But I don't think that takes away the fact that F1 is still brilliant, a brilliant sport. It's easy to say when the same person is winning, the races can get quite boring. But I think we're getting into a stage where Red Bull and Max are so dominant. It's a whole new perspective. I think Max Verstappen has. I think he's equaled his. No, he might. He's about to equal his ten races in a row record. And at the rate he's going, he will win again. And he's breaking his own records, which is amazing for him. And I think we probably will never see this again in F1. It's actually unremarkable. It's remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, to be
Uh,
honest, it's almost unremarkable at this point. It's
yeah.
sort of, you are right. It is Max Verstappen and it is the rest of the grid. Um, it's an unfortunate position as an F1 fan because you want to be telling people that the most exciting racing is happening at the front of the field. But unfortunately, that's just not the case at the moment. I think that for this is a test really for people who truly enjoy the sport because for many people they're going to tune out because the championship is almost decided at this point. I mean, obviously take that with a grain of salt because we still have I think 22 rounds left, but it's looking like it's going to be another dominant display. But true F1 fans are still going to find the joy in this sport, and that's why we love it. We don't love it because of the driver at the front. We love it because of the racing action. We love it because of every storyline and every plot line that plays out every weekend. And whoever wins at the end of the day is only going to be on screen for 1/20th of the time. And I think that's the important part we've got to take from this. We're going to be able to really delve into stories that in previous seasons where there would have been, so for example, 2021, where there was a huge battle at the front, we may not have been able to notice. So this is going to sift out the real F1 fans from the people who are just here for the race at the front. And I think at the end of the day, I would rather a sport that's um I would rather a sport where people care than a sport where it's the most popular thing of the week, if you see what I mean. I
Yeah.
know it's bad long term, monetarily, obviously, they're trying to expand their reach as always, but I would always rather to have this elite class of people who really care for the sport. So, someone like you who's watched it since you were a really young child. For me, I've been aware of Formula One since I was a really young child. And, this is the sport that we care about. And it's not always about Max Verstappen taking the win. It's about people like Ollie Bearman coming into that Ferrari drive, taking P7. And that's what we take. That's our slice of enjoyment from that we take from Formula One because I would say that you and I are part of that true conglomerate of fans. Not to, I mean, not to I know self-aggrandize, but yeah. What do you think, Amish? Do you think
No, I
it's
totally
more
agree with
important?
that. I really think that it it makes the fans who really care stand out when it shows the commitment of everyone who really cares about the sport. As much as I'd want everyone in the world to be following F1, I think having true fans who are very dedicated is just something else, you know. And I think what you said about races becoming less interesting, I think that's not always true. You know, I think we've got more races to come this season, and I don't think every race is going to be considered boring or eventless. You know, we looked at if you look at last year, even though Red Bull won every race but one race, that one race that they didn't
Yeah.
win was arguably the best race of the season because we had Carlos Sainz
What a
winning,
race.
and yeah, what a race. And we also, how he won that race was brilliant. You know, the podium in the end was great. I think it was Carlos,
Those last
Lando,
two laps were
and
just,
Lewis.
oh my
You
goodness,
know,
on the edge of my
yeah,
seat.
With the George Russell crash. You know, and I think you can't close that off. You can't say that that's not going to happen after two races. You know, I think that's still a possibility out there, even though Red Bull and Max Verstappen are so strong at the moment, there's still loads more to come. And I think that's as true F1 fans, you just gotta have that faith and you just gotta, you just gotta enjoy it as it comes.
Absolutely, Amish. What a way to end it. What a way to end it. We are settled down and we are ready for the next 22 rounds of racing, whatever they will bring. And we will enjoy every single moment of that. And we do not care if Max Verstappen wins every single lap and wins every single lap from now on until the end. We will continue to enjoy the sport that we love. Bang. There we go. Thank you for listening to F1 Isn't Real. Tune in next week for updates on the latest F1 news and also our predictions for the full 2025 driver lineup. Chills at the end there. Thank you, Amesh.
Thank you, Ben.